Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Medinur Reha binti Muhammad Yusof and Medinur Akmal binti Makno as our panel and to all the viewers. Today, we are going to present our final project titled Life is Sweeter with Less Sugar, Screening on Glycated Haemoglobin. For our presentation, first of all, I am going to introduce myself. My name is Hamizah Nur Hazirah binti Muhammad No as the third presenter.
And I am the second presenter, Muhammad Haris Fazila bin Muhammad Yunus.
And I am the first presenter, Nur Hidayah binti Anwar, and we are supervised by Madam Cik Nur Hamila binti Cik Muhammad. So this is the preview of the outline for our presentation. We will go to the first chapter of the presentation, which is introduction. As we know, bubble tea drinks have become a trendy phenomenon and getting a lot of attention in Malaysia. The statistic shows that the bubble tea market has increased at a pace of almost 7% from 2019. Many people are not aware of the disadvantages of having this sweet drink, such as they might get diabetes and reduce their life length. The number of diabetes patients increased rapidly in Malaysia. The cost of treating diabetes also quite high, where a patient approximately spends 30 ringgit Malaysia monthly only on a medicine, while government spend 2.04 billion per year to treat diabetes, and diabetes become a largest amount to spend among three major diseases in Malaysia. We move to the next slide, which is the problem segment. Globally, diabetes shows an increasing trend. In 2019, there are 463 million diabetic patients worldwide. Diabetes also has caused 4.2 million of deaths. The International Diabetes Federation estimates that by 2045, there will rise up to 700 million of diabetic patients. Next, we go to the objective of this study. Before we go further, I would like to inform that the glycated haemoglobin is the blood sugar level and used to diagnose diabetes. So, we have four objectives of this study. The first objective is analyzed by chi-square test of independence. Meanwhile, the second, third and fourth objective is analyzed by discriminant function analysis. For data collection, we collect our data at National Diabetes Institute or NADI for short. Our population is a list of 846 patients who did a medical checkup in NADI in 2019. By using equation 3.1, we calculate the sample needed for this study, which is 156 patients. However, due to some extreme value in the independent variables, 16 samples were removed. Therefore, only 140 samples were accepted in this study. Other than that, we use simple random sampling for our sampling method and online questionnaire and phone interview for our data collection method. Let's proceed with the second presenter, Muhammad Haris Fazila.
Thank you, Hidayah, for that lovely presentation. Now, let's continue with the results and analysis. For this presentation, we will only present the descriptive statistic of a diabetic patient. So let's hop into it. First, gender. The study found that 16.4% were diabetic female, while 13.6% were diabetic male. Second, age. The lowest percentage is at 1.4% at age 20 to 30, while the highest percentage is at 9.3% at age 40 to 50. Third, BMI. The lowest percentage is at 0%, which is underweight and normal weight, while the highest percentage is 17.9%, which is obesity. And fourth, exercise. The lowest percentage is at 12.9%, which is exercise, while the highest percentage is at 17.1%, which is do not exercise. The first objective is to measure the association between some factors towards HbA1c. As we can see, only 3 factors has association with HbA1c, which is BMI, sleep deprivation, and daily egg consumption, since 3 of them has p-value less than 0.05, while the other 3, which is smoking status, egg quantity, and egg cooking method has no association with HbA1c since the p-value is more than 0.05. For the second objective, we would like to see which factors are significant for the HbA1c. As we can see, only 4 factors are significant, which is BMI, cholesterol, systolic blood pressure, and diastolic blood pressure, since 4 of them has the p-value less than 0.05, while only 1 factor are insignificant, which is age, since it has the p-value more than 0.05. For the third objective is to formulate the discriminant function for the HbA1c. As you can see the 3 functions in the screen, it is the Fisher linear discriminant function to discriminate the groups of HbA1c. The first function is for the normal group, the second function is for the pre-diabetic group, and the third function is for the diabetes group. The classification results for the 3 discriminant functions shows 80.7% correctly classified. This shows that these 3 discriminant functions could be used to classify HbA1c level for new observation in the future. The fourth objective is to find the best factor that discriminate HbA1c. BMI is the best factor to discriminate pre-diabetic group, while systolic blood pressure is the best factor to discriminate diabetic group. Let's move on to our third presenter, Hamiza.
Thank you, Haris, for the wonderful presentation just now. Next, let us proceed to the conclusion and recommendation. For the conclusion, based on the findings, diabetic patients have greater BMI compared to non-diabetic. Diabetes patient also does not get enough sleep or having a sleep loss. Lastly, diabetes patient consume more eggs in their meal compared to normal person. This is the Fisher linear discriminant function equation. Equation 1 is for normal group, equation 2 is for pre-diabetes group, equation 3 is for diabetes group. This discriminant function can be used for classifying new observation. As stated earlier, glycated haemoglobin HbA1c has 3 levels, which are normal group, pre-diabetes, and diabetes group. From these 3 groups, we can discriminate them into 2 functions, which are function for pre-diabetes group and function for diabetes group. BMI is the best factor to discriminate the pre-diabetes group, while for diabetes group, systolic blood pressure is the best factor to discriminate the group. As for the recommendation, we can recommend into 2 categories, which for the patient and for the family and friends. The patient themselves have to practice a balanced diet in their meal, exercise regularly, and get an adequate amount of sleep. For the family and friends, they have to give more support to the patients, compliment the patient if they have an improvement in their lifestyle, and can do exercise together with them to boost their spirit. Last but not least, the recommendation for future study. The future researcher should get a larger sample size to get a more accurate findings and free from bias. Secondly, the future researcher should do a face-to-face interview to get a better judging of the facial expression of the respondents. Lastly, the future researcher should give some rewards to the respondents who willingly participate in the study. That's all from us. We would like to say thank you for listening.
Dek, sekarang ni online green tea lah. Bukan teh ais.
Bang, ada jual green tea tak kat kedai ni? Ada.
Woi! Dek, benda korang ni. Sekarang online teh ais cincau. Bukan green tea.
Bang, teh ais cincau satu bang.
Ya Allah! Sekarang ni orang layan berbati, bukan teh ais cincau.
Semalam baru beli teh ais cincau. Hari ni dah tukar trend pula. Bang, ada jual boba tea tak sini?
Weh, ada ni. Lah ni, orang dah tak ada layan dah berbati semua. Orang lain boba je.
Bang. Sini ada jual boba je.
Ha?
Tak nak teh, nak boba saja.
Peliknya. Ha, okey ada.
Boba.
Jangan cakap korang minat boba kalau korang tak kutung. Kalah.